In this video, I'm going to be comparing Boruto summoning jutsu with Naruto summoning jutsu, which is Garaga, and basically all the tools that Naruto does eventually summon when he is a Genin and when he does grow up to be a Jonin and a Kage. But before I do that, last time I put out a shirt, you guys really seemed to like it, you guys loved it, and you guys wanted me to make more designs. I made another shirt. It's pretty much hoodies, sweaters, everything, and it's also in a lot of colors, so if you guys want a specific color, I'm sure you guys will probably find it. But this is just my first design. Of course, I'll definitely be making more, and these are just a couple of the colors. The link to the shirts, hoodies, and sweaters are going to be in the description below. So if you guys do want to support me, I don't know, help me pay my tuition, you guys can go buy a shirt. It'll help me out a lot, and I'll thank you guys for that. But now, I feel like it's a very good time to possibly talk about the Boruto and Naruto summoning jutsu. And honestly, I have a couple opinions on this because I know a lot of people have been asking me about it, and they like to compare Garaga with Gamakichi, Gamabunta, and Gamatatsu, the summonings of Naruto. And definitely, I would like to compare those as well. Now, first things first, before we even get into comparing the two, Boruto's summoning jutsu isn't necessarily his permanent summoning jutsu as of yet. And I do have to say that as of right now, mainly because Garaga did tell Boruto, hey, I'm going to be with you until you actually get Mitsuki back, or if you don't get Mitsuki back. And they made this deal, if he doesn't get Mitsuki back, Garaga's going to obviously eat him, and if Boruto does get Mitsuki back, that's just going to be it. I feel like Boruto, of course, is going to eventually get Mitsuki back. We see Mitsuki with Boruto in the manga. If you guys don't know that, spoiler alert. In my opinion, I feel like Boruto at that point is probably going to work out some sort of talk no jutsu on Garaga and possibly have him for the permanent future. I feel like they're definitely building up Garaga's character, and Garaga already has some sort of emotional bond. If you guys remember, Garaga shared his past with Boruto, but a huge part of that is the fact that Boruto's master has a lot of snake summonings as well. Sasuke signed a contract with Ryuchi Cave as well, where he gets to summon a lot of snakes, and I feel like if Boruto gets to summon snakes as well, it could possibly make their training even much more better. That would just give Sasuke a lot more things to teach Boruto, and in turn make Boruto a better ninja. And there's also that cosmetic similarity between Boruto and Garaga, where both of their right eyes are going to eventually be messed up. Just off of that look, I feel like they're meant to be together, and definitely I feel like Boruto is going to eventually get multiple summoning jutsus. If it's not going to be Garaga, I feel like he's definitely going to need some sort of summoning jutsus. Every great shinobi has a summoning jutsu, and I feel like Garaga could definitely be the best one for Boruto. If you guys think about it, Boruto is supposed to be the strongest guy in the Konoha eventually, and Garaga himself is the strongest guy in Ryuchi Cave. I would have basically called him the bully of Ryuchi Cave, so he's basically stronger than everybody. And not only that, we've seen it firsthand where Garaga was basically destroying Aoda back in Ryuchi Cave. But going on to comparing Boruto and Naruto summoning jutsu, I feel like one of the biggest differences between Boruto and Naruto summoning jutsu is the fact that Naruto didn't sign a contract with a single toad. He signed a contract with Mount Miyaboku, and that's something very different from what Boruto said. Boruto said that he wanted to sign a contract with Garaga himself. He didn't necessarily sign a contract with the Ryuchi Cave. If you guys don't know, you have the ability or you have the choice to sign a contract with either the place, which would be Mount Miyaboku or Ryuchi Cave, whichever one would be, or you have the ability to sign a contract with a certain animal, and that's exactly what Boruto did. He signed a contract with the animal, and Naruto, on the other hand, he signed a contract with Mount Miyaboku. Now, this is going to be very significant, mainly because if you guys remember, back when Naruto used to always try to summon his summoning jutsus, he used to always summon the wrong animal, and that's mainly because he didn't necessarily have all the chakra there, or he didn't put enough chakra into the summoning jutsu. Now, in my review, I didn't necessarily understand this. I didn't really talk about this, and I feel like this is definitely something very important. This basically means whenever Boruto wants Garaga, he can automatically summon Garaga. It's going to automatically require Boruto to put that much energy into his summonings. If he does not put that much energy, Garaga just wouldn't pop up. It would be nothing popping up. Where on the other hand, Naruto would have a choice between picking between Gamakichi, Gamabunta, or Gamatatsu. Now, another thing we have to look at is how Boruto will actually play off of Garaga. When we did see the previous summoner of Garaga, Garaga basically said that he was very strong. He was nothing like Boruto, which is kind of funny and ironic. But the summoner also used lightning jutsu, and I feel like this is going to be something very similar to what Boruto is going to do in the future when he does summon Garaga. I feel like Garaga actually does thrive off of lightning jutsu, and Boruto could pretty much match that. If you guys remember, Jiraiya and Gamabunta always used fire release, which was very cool. And one of the times when Naruto had to use fire release, he didn't necessarily have any fire jutsus, but he just threw a paper bomb, which actually turned out working. So I feel like the dynamic between Boruto and Garaga is probably going to be better than Naruto and the Toad summonings as of right now. Later on down the line, of course, when Naruto was fighting Pain and everybody else, he got extremely stronger, and his cohesion with the Toads got extremely better. Now, here's what I feel is going to be very important to Boruto, and probably something that Boruto needs to do. I feel like Boruto needs to go back and sign a contract with the Ryuchi Cave as a whole. Of course, I know that Boruto eventually is going to have Garaga as his main summoning. Garaga is going to be the main one that he does use, mainly because Garaga is the strongest, but I feel like certain snakes could be used for certain things. I don't think that Boruto is going to eventually turn it into like a Mitsuki or anything where Mitsuki summons like 1,000 snakes per day, I feel like Boruto's gonna be like a Sasuke. If you guys know, Sasuke usually summons snakes when he needs them and when he's in some sort of trouble. And no, I don't expect Boruto to be sending snakes on some suicide missions like Sasuke did. If you guys remember when Sasuke was fighting Deidara and Deidara decided to blow everything up, he basically sent the snake into a suicide mission right then. I don't expect Boruto to be doing anything like that, but if you guys remember, the Toad Sage himself, Jiraiya, he summoned Gamabunta for certain things, and he also summoned this Toad right here to fight Pain. If you guys remember, this is the one that always said that he wasn't so graceful. As of right now, this is an advantage that Naruto has over Boruto. Naruto had multiple summoning jutsus he could choose from, and not only that, he grew with his own summoning jutsu. I'm pretty sure you guys remember the changes that Gamakichi went through. At one point, he was extremely small in part 1 with Naruto, and Naruto used to always summon him, and in part 2 when Naruto eventually fought Pain, Gamakichi got a lot bigger and he got a lot stronger. And not only that, when Naruto summoned him in the 4th grade Shinobi War, Gamakichi was basically Gamabunta part 2. Like, he was extremely big. He even had a cigar in his mouth. It was extremely funny, but I really liked how Gamakichi grew alongside Naruto, and I feel like if Boruto can get a connection with another snake, the Ryuchi Cave, like that, I feel like that could possibly be very advantageous to Boruto, mainly because he would not have to only rely on Garaga. May it be one of Garaga's children, may it be Garaga's nephew, I feel like Boruto definitely does need one of those. Now, as far as the timeline goes, I personally feel like Boruto, as of right now, is just gonna have Garaga. I feel like in the future, before part 2, Boruto should sign a contract with the Ryuchi Cave. And in terms of Boruto possibly getting a new summoning jutsu, like if you guys know, Sasuke signed a contract with the snakes and he also signed a contract with hawks as well. I feel like Boruto could definitely use other summoning jutsus and possibly even go to Mount Miyaboku. Boruto is pretty much like the exact crossover between Sasuke and Naruto, and it would pretty much only make sense if Boruto would eventually sign a contract with the Ryuchi Cave and Mount Miyaboku. Of course, at this point, the big questions would probably be, hey, what would Sarada do? In my opinion, I feel like the perfect summoning jutsu for Sarada would probably be Aoda, which is Sasuke's summoning jutsu. Of course, I feel like the best thing for Sarada to do is sign a contract with the whole Ryuchi Cave and not just one snake, as I said, for Boruto. But as of right now, as of the immediate future, I feel like her perfect summoning jutsu would definitely be Aoda. And who knows, maybe Sarada already signed a contract with Aoda. If you guys remember, Aoda had a lot of respect for Sarada, mainly because she is Sasuke's daughter, and he basically listened to and did whatever Sarada said. Now, if this is the case where all of Team 7 basically has snake summonings, I feel like it would definitely be a very aesthetic thing to look at if they do eventually go on a mission together and they all summon their snakes, or probably eventually if they all turn against each other. Of course, I feel like they're probably going to end up back together if they do turn against each other. I feel like it would probably be a very good situation where you have all of Team 7 summoning snakes, and it could possibly just be a very good fight. If you guys didn't see it already, we kind of seen a little bit of Mitsuki's huge snake. I don't even think it was a huge snake. I think it was like a medium-sized snake back in the opening where he was basically riding on a big snake. But I'm pretty sure at this point we all agree that Mitsuki probably has a huge snake, much like the size of Aoda and also Garaga, and I feel like that would just pretty much be a very good aesthetic thing to look at. Now, the last thing I want to say, speaking about Sarada Summoning Jutsu, is that I wouldn't be surprised if Sarada would actually take a little bit of influence from Naruto and eventually go to Mount Miyaboku. As you guys know, Sarada does eventually want to become the Hokage, and one of the main ways that she wants to do that is by following a lot of footsteps of Naruto. And I do agree that, hey, Sarada could possibly go to Mount Miyaboku and do the same thing that Naruto did. In my opinion, I feel like she could probably get like a female Toad. I'm pretty sure there are some strong female Toads out there, or she could just get an extremely strong male Toad. It really honestly doesn't matter. And of course, if she does decide to take Sakura route, where she does want to become a medical ninja, she could also get the slug. And one thing I do want to point out with Boruto and Sarada, I strongly feel like they're going to be able to get multiple summoning jutsus. On the Sarada point, as I said, I feel like she could possibly get a snake, a toad, and also a slug. That's just how versatile I feel like Sarada could possibly be. Now, if there is one thing that we did take away from this arc, which is extremely good, is the fact that they are diving into summoning jutsus, which is a very important thing. And of course, I would really hope to see a lot of them get a lot of summoning jutsus really early in their development so they can grow with their summonings, much like Naruto did with Gamakichi. But I want to turn this over to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Do you guys feel like Boruto is eventually going to get Garaga as his permanent summoning jutsu? And also, do you guys think it'll probably be a great idea for Boruto to eventually sign a contract with all of Ryuchi Cave? Because of course there is that drawback of Boruto possibly summoning a smaller snake, but there is also that pro of Boruto being more versatile in the snakes that he does summon. But it's me, your boy Baara, and we out. Alright, last thing, I promise. I literally just watched Boruto episode 4 of the English dub, and I didn't really catch this before, mainly because it was like 74 episodes ago, but Boruto literally said that he wanted to summon snakes, or eventually summon snakes, when he grows up, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I'm going to show it to you guys right now to end off the video.
Who cares what it looks like? Yeah, as long as it's strong, then it can be ugly.
Oh, I know. How about a snake? 'Cause they're cool and they seem really strong, too.